Hello, my name is Claudia Defraia, and I teach Italian at Loyola University. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my experience with you and to show you some videos I prepared for a workshop previously. So it was easier for me to show you the kind of activities I do in class. Okay, first of all, you asked me to, for instance, to show you an activity I do in class. Usually I teach elementary Italian. Students are supposed to take one semester of basic Italian, and then in the second semester, they still learn other structure of my language, but they also reuse, of course, because languages are like a domino game, the vocabulary and the grammar they learned previously, right? So usually in the second semester, most of the times I know the students, some other times I don't. So I make sure to make them work together. How do I do that? Usually online, I put them in breakout rooms. I make sure to divide them in different groups, and sometimes I mix the groups. So I make sure that people who are really good at Italian are with people who struggle with the language, and I balance it that way so they can learn and help each other, okay, somehow, and also gain trust, in class with their classmates, basically. And so in the second semester, I usually, after we review some vocab, I want to show you how we review the vocab, which is kind of childish, but I review, I'll show you. For instance, I use a kid's book and they love it. And they familiarize with each other by using this kind of the book, okay? So they learn this vocab or they review it if it's the second semester, and they work together in the breakout rooms and they reuse the material. They love it. Okay, this is about colors, but it could be about clothing, for instance, or anything else that they like are, for instance, professions. So once they learn this vocab playing together, I'm talking about 3-4 months of learning. This is a long process. I also focus on daily actions, so they can describe reality in an easier way, what they do, what they like doing in the weekends, and blah, 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 blah. So what happens is that in the second semester, there's a point where I ask them to reuse all the structures and vocabulary and words and, of course, vocabulary they have been learning, right? And I make them work with pictures. These are the pictures I work with. They work with. There are several scenarios. The most important thing is that I make sure that they see different scenarios. Like I have situations in the pandemic in a library, or I have a girl with a dog in a park, and sometimes I write the words, as you can see, to teach them how to express on top, on the left, on the right. Words that express maybe, I think this person, and express opinions about the picture they see. And it could be any scenario. Someone at the train station, this is a small one, a guy working in a supermarket, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so this is an activity I prepare them through time. Then there's a point where we start working on pictures. We do it together first. And then in a second moment, I divide them in groups. I want to show you. So basically, once they learn how to describe a picture, so basically see what they see, the colors they see, what these people are wearing, imagining what these people are, where these people are from, what's their name, what's the age. It's essential they reuse their basic knowledge of Italian, okay? Once they do that, they learn how to do it in class. I put them in breakout rooms and I give them different pictures. Usually, I'll show you. This is an activity which is on YouTube. Let me open the file in 1 second. So basically, for instance, I divide them in groups. I want to show you. This is my class, for instance, and let me go like this. And I put them in different groups, and then I meet each one of them. So basically, I go in each class, in each group, and tell them, okay, this is what I'm expecting. Do you remember how to describe a picture? This is the picture you're supposed to describe to the class, okay? And people start acting, interacting, okay? So, for instance, in this case, I asked this girl to introduce, I put a second so you could see actively what they did. This girl, for instance, was describing the shopping bag of this person. Basically, no, what this person was doing. New York. And they're saying that she's maybe from the United States, she's doing shopping, and they're imagining what this person might have bought. They are interacting with the class and showing vocabulary. They are allowed to search words in word reference, but they are not allowed to use Google Translate. And so they describe exactly, as you can see, what they are describing the dress that she's wearing, okay? Then I can have a scenario like the Colosseum, and I can ask them, for instance, what is this? Si chiama questo monumento? I'm asking them, what is the name?
Forse una donna si chiama Mary.
Come si chiama il monumento? Il monumento.
Oh, il Colosseo.
Ok.
Perfetto. E Kelly, brava, come si chiama la donna?
Forse una donna si chiama Mary.
Okay, so they're imagining the name of the person. This girl just said, I asked the name of the monument. This girl just told me that maybe this is a woman. And in my attitude to her inclusiveness, I tell her, oh, that's perfect. It could be a man or a woman or a transgender person is fine. What is their name? And they invent, okay? Or I can also have a situation where I describe a few kids like these ones watching
Lei,
watching TV.
Lui, si chiama Paul e Antonio.
Ok.
Perfetto. E che cosa fanno secondo voi?
Gli amici in un bar.
So they describe several situations. That's an activity which is very useful. Now, you ask me to say, what does it teach them? What is this activity about? This activity is about teaching them how to describe reality around them, which is the basic of the common European framework for the language learning in Europe. So I come from Europe, so of course I learn how to teach languages over there. So basically, they can have any topic, any kind of discussion, or show off some vocabulary in Italian, even in the States or in Italy. They can basically have a normal conversation at a basic level about normal things in life, like daily things in life, daily activities, etc. Also, to motivate them, I also tell them, listen, Italian is everywhere in this country. You can go to a bunch of restaurants here in Chicago and you can show off some vocabulary that you know, okay? Or also something that you're learning about the culture, or, you know, it's still something useful that you can use also in your daily life in the US. And they love that, okay? Anything else? As you could see, I interact with them a lot. I call them by name. I repeat their sentences without saying, hey, you said something wrong. I just like repeat it and mirroring them and saying the correct word, etc., etc. What else? I really encourage participation and I give them a feedback. They really like this activity. As for the introduction to the class, I wanted to say the second question is this, and I'm going to cut off really quickly. Allora, so usually I show my students the syllabus, as you can see here. I'm going to share my
I pay much more attention to your commitment, your participation in class, your absences. Of course, you can skip some synchronous session and you'll watch the recording. I leave the recording only until Monday night because I want to make sure that you watch them every week. I've had students in the past they watched the recordings at the very end, and it was a mess. You have to be really, really committed. I have to ask you this, okay?
So I asked them to be committed, and I set up the rule. At the very first meeting, I tell them, this is the syllabus. We comment it together. We go step by step. They ask me questions, and we clarify things. Of course, we do presentations in class. They can introduce themselves, and I have several strategies. Look at this video here now. Sorry, I don't want to confuse you with all this video, but this is exactly when they introduce themselves.
Thank you. And then I have Sangin.
Yeah, Sangin.
Sangin, grazie. Where is this name from?
It's a Persian name. I'm from
Oh,
Pakistan.
I love it. Okay. Allora, Sangin, tell me everything. When do you take Italian 101?
I took it last fall with Antonio Romano.
Ok, it's fun, eh?
Yeah.
Allora, vediamo. 2020, Antonio Romano. Ok, perfetto, grazie.
So this is a way I introduce to I let my students to introduce themselves. Now, I want to show you a last thing. I usually introduce myself. I couldn't find the clip where I introduce myself, but I usually say where I'm from, how long I've been teaching Italian, and where I come from, where I'm from, what I like about my job. Okay. A little bit less about my credentials, I say, not that much. The last thing I wanted to show you is that on my online classes, let me drop, am I sharing my screen? Yes, I am. I usually have a very well-organized, let's go to that class. It was spring 22. So they have a calendar of activities. So my contract goes here, and they find all the material, the resources and things. As a strategy to build up rapport, I asked them to have a small introduction about themselves. And I'll show you. I'm sorry for the headache here. And at the beginning of the semester, they introduce themselves at the class, and they say what they like. They can use Italian or English, it doesn't matter. And other people comment. Huh? Oh, I like that. And some of them even went out for dinner lately. So I think it's very successful. Now, so I don't base the introduction only in the interaction in class, but I also let them do it while they're home, relaxed. They can have a 3-4 minutes video and talk about their love for Italian or for pizza or for biology, express their feelings, and get connected with the other classes. And I think I answered the questions, and I got 13 minutes. I hope it's not too long. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.